Hi everyone, welcome to Stitch Party of One. My name is Darlene King and this is my 7th Flosstube. I gotta say, I'm sorry I made you wait so long, folks. First, when I got back from visiting my sister in PA, I felt really lonely, and I texted Stitcherista Danielle about it. And she said, yeah, she said, I'm having a little bit of the same thing. She said, after stitching with like 300 other women for a few days and then come back to stitching by myself, it's kind of a letdown. I said, I'll get over it. But then I went into this really quiet spell. And I just didn't want to talk. I know it sounds weird, doesn't it? That's me, I'm weird. But um, I just got real quiet and contemplative, been working outside and just kind of communing with nature and all that. And once I got inside, I was too tired to do anything. I tell you, I don't know who's kicking who's behind right now. I call it a draw between me and the yard, but I don't know. I think it's kicking my behind instead. and um, I got to thinking. I went to dress again, and I was thinking about doing the floss tube, and I thought they're going to think I'm wearing the same T-shirt all the time, and it's really not. Um, I just have a fondness for heather gray T-shirts. Um, I don't know why. I just gravitate towards them all the time, and so I've gotten quite a number of them, and I like oversized ones too. So I can just basically just crawl right into bed if I want to. Um, it makes me look a little bigger, and I don't need any help, but I just don't like anything that really binds. Um, so and I detest ladies cut. With the little teeny. When you get my size, nobody wants that little itty teeny in the armpit all day. Um, but yeah, I'm not wearing the same T-shirt. I just have a lot of heather gray T-shirts. Um, as a shout out to Cheryl of Triangle Stitches, um, I love that she shares some of their nature walks and stuff, and I'm thinking maybe I should do that a little bit more with my yard. Um, this week has been overcast and a little cooler because of that, and threat of storms, and I've loved it. I just sat out there for a while after I finished working the other day and just sat and listened to everything. Just appreciated nature for a while. And but I am proud of my accomplishments. I can't overdo it. I can only do so much. I've only got so many spoons to use and so forth, but uh, I do make a good effort, and it does show. The difference has been shown a number of times. Anyhow, I'm rambling about my yard again. To Cheryl, she said that ramps were known as wild onions where she came from, and the only wild onions I knew were the ones that were actually like the green onions that grow in your garden, but they're wild, and you can eat those too. Um, I think it was Sharon McCrum. If anyone has read the Sharon McCrum novels, I think it's in her short stories book. She said that Generation Xers referred to people like me as cosmic possums, which, okay, um, odd term, but we're comfortable with both with technology, and we also know the old ways, so to speak. And these are basically Gen Xers that were into nature and stuff. So, but yeah, when you grow up with Depression era folks and mountain folks in your lineage, you learn about a lot of things. One thing that I particularly liked, we were watching, well, I was watching Orange is the New Black, and the real quiet lady, turns out that she was a survivalist. Her dad taught her how to survive out in the wild and everything. And I loved the show that represented her background. And I just thought that was super cool. Also super cool, I have been reading a lot as I'm recovering from working outside. And I'm currently reading a story from Archive of Our Own. I told you all I read a lot of fan fiction. If you like the following shows, you may want to check it out. It's a crossover piece. It's called Codename Firestarter. And I will put a link down below to it. I highly recommend it. It's had me riveted for 3 days now. And it represents the Criminal Minds, Stargate Atlantis, NCIS, the Sentinel, and CSI. So, and it's really, really good. If you're familiar with the Stargate shows, especially Stargate Atlantis, the Wraith have come, a small group of Wraith have come, but the rest of them are coming. And this is really in-depth. It's really, really amazing crossover. And even those, I mean, it's a straightforward fan fiction. There's no funny stuff in this one, but if any of you are willing to try it out, this would be a good starter piece. I highly recommend it. I don't read a lot of current authors, except for the one who I bought recently. And I can't think of her name, bless my heart. I'll put it down there too, the links for her books. But definitely, if you're a fan of any or all of these shows, try this out for, and you've never read fan fiction before, give this one a try. I am just literally straining to stay awake to try to get through this thing for 3 nights now. I did order some stash. I'm really excited. I ordered some stash from 123. I ordered 3 patterns, 6 if you count all of them, and 2 fat quarters, because I saw them and I just fell in love. It's a couple bucks. And I was very excited. Now, originally, with my first shipment, one of my pieces was a little on back order, one of my charts. Originally, they sent me the wrong charts, or the wrong chart. I had ordered the trilogy's Autumn Scarecrow and the Turkey, and they sent me Kitty and the Crows instead. And I was confused. I sent them a very nice email, asking, was this a substitution, because I wasn't asked, and so it wasn't approved. And I was kind of aggravated that I would have to, spend the money to return it and everything. And hold on just a moment. Oh, I love ice water. And they sent me back a lovely email, said, "Oh, we are so sorry, we grabbed the wrong thing. We are out of stock on the other, and we'll be getting it later in the week." And I got it by Saturday, so I mean they got to me too sweet. So, but so now I've got two of them. Even though I didn't want the other one, I'm torn now because I've got two of three. I've got Kitty and the Crows. He told me I could keep this, and then of course my Scarecrow and Turkey. I just love that turkey. I like the turkeys. I can't remember who made it, but the turkeys are the Happy Thanksgiving one with the turkeys on both sides. But I would never, I wouldn't go do anything that big. It's way bigger. But these are like 30 by 30. And I love scarecrows anyway. I've done a number of scarecrows. And I just love that turkey. I can't figure out why they do turkeys that way, you know, when they show them with the different colored feathers. I guess it's easier than doing all the detail on the real ones. I also got, these were all like clearance items, sale items. They had JBW designs. Also, I got the French Country Witch. I love the French country designs, but I don't get them all. I do have quite a few, but I don't get them all. And I like that one. And I got Myrtle Grace Motifs, Boo Not Disturb. Yes. And I mentioned to my cousin because I got this before I went to PA, and I showed him, and I said, I've got this one, I've got this one, but Amy Booking Designs. And I said, I've got a bunch of little monsters in magazines and stuff. They're all about 30 inches. I said, I was thinking about, I was just testing the idea with him because he's not a cross stitcher, but he is a talented artist in his own right with wood. And I value his opinion. And I said, I was thinking of making like a police lineup, but instead of, and in the background, instead of feet, have like inches, because all these are like 3 inches tall, and just have the lineup and the lines behind it, and then put the usual suspects underneath. And he said that sounded really cute to him. So let me know. But I do have a chart. I saw this fabric. This is all something new. I can't make it out. But it's Skull and Crossbones. And I have I know this one. Come on, I've talked to her. Anyway, I've got Sue Hillis. Sue Hillis's chart for beatings will continue until morale improves. And I have various Halloween charts that I thought that would be perfect for. And I saw this and I just had to get it. It's polka dots. Yeah. They're in kind of a random pattern though. And they're on that gorgeous blue. I like cobalt. I like polka dots. And I said, I know I can use it for something. I can use it as a background for a canvas finish, or tuck pillow, or just a backing for a pillow. So that's it. That's all my purchases. It's not much, but I haven't bought anything except floss since December. So I was really tickled to get these. And I really think the idea with the police lineup would be kind of cute. And just put the usual suspects. Halloweeny, but not not Halloween. My May finishes, I haven't been getting a lot of stitching done, but I have been plugging away. I've been plugging away at this. And let me tell you, those letters, doing the trick-or-treat letters, there's 4 colors in those letters. I haven't had this much trouble. Oh, and one other thing. Did you notice something odd? I won't put this up there real close, so if y'all are watching this on big screen, I apologize. What's wrong with that spider? Do you see it? Yeah, that just wouldn't do. Spiders are insects. And I had to, this little bat was out of place, so, but I'm glad to say that all I have left to do is 8 French knots and back stitching on the bats, and I'm done. This 18 count stuff is kicking my behind as well. I have an issue. Now, it's really hard for me to gauge, and my glasses are old, my eyes get tired and everything. But if I use the magnifier, I find myself hunching over the magnifier too close. And I'm trying to catch myself at it. It's a bad habit of mine, and I'm trying to, but I'm so used to looking so close to it, even when it's under the magnifier, I get too close, and then the light from the magnifier gives me a headache. So I'm working on it. It's good to have goals. But in the meanwhile, here's my finished stitching. And as you can see, my spider has 8 legs, not 6. And I thought this would be so easy, and it's just been driving me crazy. What is this? Oh, I'm sorry. There was a thread. So I've probably lost the hanger by now, so I was doing a bunch of these little itty bitties. I was going to do like a montage of them all together. But I'm so glad to be finished with it, because I have been working on nothing but these letters. And if y'all could have seen, here's my backside. Now I'm talking 2 stitches here, 2 stitches here, 3 stitches here, 3 stitches here. And something that I did was I left tails on the bottom ones that only had 2 stitches because it was such a teeny tiny area. I left tails, and when I did this next stitches above them, I covered over the tips of the tails. So it's well secured. I mean, but those letters are worthy of their own circle of H-E-double hockey sticks. Hockey sticks! Because they were a pain. That's all I've been working on this week. And cussing the entire time. Well, not really, but. Now, this has been almost as complicated. I wanted to show you a couple things. I did this on paper, which led me to prefer plastic. See all the detail in that? This is 24 hours of work. Now, whose chart is this, you may ask? Dale Burdett. So a lot of people just miss her because she's been around since the 80s. Yeah, but let me tell you, She ranks right up there with Teresa Winslow. Now this is a book from a book of miniatures I've got. And there are so many collar changes. Now I thought, oh, this is only, what, 3 inches long by 3/4 of an inch wide. I should be able to whip that up in 6 hours at the most. 24 hours of stitching. And it kind of turned me off ever stitching on paper again, but I may yet attempt it again. But that is both my smallest and most involved piece I've ever done. Our graduation frog was interesting. I don't have it listed on the Picture Trail site anymore, but I converted a chart. I changed a chart into a graduating frog as a commission piece for a coworker, for her niece. And I made an itty bitty little tassel. I mean, I had a 3-dimensional tassel, and it was like this wide. I mean, by this long. And I made that little puppy by hand. Labor of love, people. Labor of love. And I'm surprised nobody has asked me about my figurine that sits behind me. Now, if this doesn't show somebody that I have a weird sense of humor, I don't know what does. These were dressmaker forms that were done up. I worked at Hancock Fabrics, and they got these in. They got fake jewels and everything. And they were kind of expensive, and I wanted one. One of the purple ones, but we didn't have a very large selection of colors. And if I was going to spend that much money on it, I wanted to have the best one of the lot. So I picked one of the red ones, even though I don't care for red. And then the skirt I got later on from something I bought at AC Moore when I worked there. And but I didn't have a blouse for it, and I was lazy, and I wasn't really trying to do one up for her. And then I saw this dog shirt at Dollar Tree, and I said, this is too perfect, and I can't get her to, there we go. So I just slipped it on and pinned it in the back. So yeah, I like the macabre. I don't care for black much either, but I just thought that was so funny. I'm surprised nobody's asked me about these things. Do you ever get frustrated when you want something so bad, makes your teeth ache, but you know for a fact that it's a waste of money, but it's just cute? I'm kind of stuck on that for this item on down Sunshine Lane. It's a clearance item. It's just cute. It appeals to me. It's totally worthless, but I keep coming back to look at it, and I just want to share it right here. I wanted to give a shout out to Gary Wayne Hovatter, who did miniatures like I did for Mania. Only he did much better than I did. He had 18 starts. He posted a picture on Mania about 3 days ago. He had 18 starts, had 9 fully finished objects, 6 completed, 3 unfinished out of 18. And Gary, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. You are the man. Sorry, I lost my mind for a second there. As you well know, if you watch my Instagram, I had a lot of fun with my camera mount. For a while. But I finally had to break down and put my camera on it. So I dug out this little guy. And yeah, I like to fiddle when I'm thinking. Funny story, I was having a performance review at my last job, and now I do have a tendency, I can get sidetracked or focused on something to the extent of everything else. And he mentioned this, and I said, I've made no secret of that. I warned you about that up front. And I said, in fact, my sister said she was going to get us these t-shirts she saw that said, I don't have ADD. Oh, look, a bunny. And he burst out laughing. And I mean, he had tears. And he said it was the most fun he'd ever had at a performance review in all his years managing. But yeah, I when I get to stitching, I get focused on it to the exclusion of everything else. My husband says that he can smell my brains cooking away when I'm really focused on something. I mentioned that when I work out in the yard, my dog comes out to check on me, and that helps me keep track of time. He's almost better than the alarm clock. And, oh, look at this. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Can you see? No, you can't see it with the camera. I could only see it in the half light, but I actually have a tan, at least from here down. I never tan. It takes me forever to tan. My husband is English, and he's got like a 16th or an 8th or 16th of Native American in him, and he turns brown as a nut. I go from white to red. He calls me lobster woman. That's one of the nicest things. So I was like, ooh, I'm actually tanning. Nobody can tell but me. I go from stark white to just barely brown. And I gotta say, I was looking at the Instagram pics from Stitching with Sequins. I wish I was that comfortable in my own skin. You go, girl. That is one person I would have loved to have been at the New Jersey retreat to meet. Not that I wouldn't have liked to have met a lot of people there, but I would have liked to have met her especially. She's a pretty good role model for the rest of us in some respects. I'm just joking, just joking. But yeah, I wish I had her chutzpah, because I've always been on the modest side. I think that's it. Y'all, feel free to ask me questions if there's anything if there's anything you wonder about. I do very neat backs, and I hope that comes out on the front end of this video, because my camera cut off on me. I keep thinking that there was something I forgot, but I don't think so. I guess that's it for now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Thank you if you've subscribed. You've made my day. Boy, I've forgotten how to speak English. Unfortunately, that's the only one I know clearly to speak. I'm hoping to finish up my mania stitches, because there's a bunch of other small things that I want to get started on, but I want to finish up what I started this month first. I want to stitch all the things all at once, and I can't, because I would go mad. Kudos to you, all of you who work on small counts without magnification. God bless you. This 18 count stuff has been interesting. I actually wrote down a little prayer the other day that, yeah, please help me get through this stuff. All of you that do full coverage pieces, more power to you. This detailed stuff with all the confetti. I am pretty patient, but like Caitlin and Stitches with the Hocus Pocus thing. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. Just doing the heels on that one piece is driving me crazy. So, and I haven't worked on that for a month yet. I've been fixing some things that have been messed up, parts that have fallen off my sewing box and the sewing box itself. And I did get my tomatoes last week. I got tomatoes, I got a green pepper plant, I got spearmint because I love the smell of it, and I like to put it in my tea in the summer. And I did not get catnip because we still have catnip growing everywhere in my backyard. In fact, I walked out and just plucked some stuff out of the grass, took a sniff, and went, yep, that's catnip. Mary Jane and catnip both have the same effect to me. It gives me a headache, but my cats love it. So I brought in some fresh young shoots for them, and they spent the next hour in happy days. And I got lemon basil. We tried a bunch of different basils one year, other than sweet basil. And they have some weird ones too. They had cinnamon basil. I'm like, why would you put... No. They had chocolate mint, which sounds good in theory, but I had to search. It was funny because I wanted lemon basil because that's our favorite. We haven't had it in a while, and I found one. And I was like, ah! And then I went around the far end of the table, and there was a whole bunch of it. That cracked me up. Here I went peeking through like 30 batches of sweet basil and about 10 cinnamon basils to get this one lemon basil if I'd just gone around the table. Yeah, that pretty much sounds like my life in a nutshell. But, and I've gotten the, I wanted the basil and the spearmint in a pot. And so I got those done. I haven't got my big plants out yet, my tomatoes and I'm looking to put them in this raised area that we've got. We've got a step down to the bottom, and there's 2 areas on the other side of the steps. And it'll be a lot easier to weed them there because I can go down, come around, and it's raised. And I'm not supposed to bend over a lot. It's not good for me. For either my back or my front. So, I just didn't get out there today. So, that's on the agenda for tomorrow. So, definitely ask me things if you have any questions. If you want to see my bags, I keep pretty neat bags. I enjoy questions. I just don't get a lot, and usually I answer with the comments. I don't think to answer online, which is a failing. I'm still new at this, and I'm trying to get better. So in the interest of keeping this not too long, I'm going to cut it off now. And happy June 1st. Mania is done but not forgotten as we finish up our last pieces. And summer's here, y'all. So until next time, bye.